probably guessed, today we are going to be learning parts of speech. And this is probably going to be a review for most of you from middle school. We're going to take it pretty slow, just because we do have some new people that maybe haven't had as much grammar in the past. Help me back on the screen. There we go. Okay, so you guys grab the notes. I call it the parts of speech cheat sheet from the back cube. So those are going to be your notes for the next 4 days that we're going through parts of speech. Okay, we are spending 4 days on parts of speech, so it is going to be pretty slowed down. And hopefully you'll learn some new stuff that you didn't learn at the middle school, because we're going to be delving deep into the different parts of speech. We're going to have homework every day. You can see it written on the backboard. It's also posted on the calendar on Google Classroom for you guys. If you happen to be absent one day, let me catch my breath. Whew. If you happen to be absent one day, all of the homework will of course be posted on Google Classroom as well. So you are going to want a writing utensil out, so you can be filling in the notes as we go. Okay, they should go in order, so just make sure you're kind of following along. These are called guided notes. So most of the notes are already filled in for you. You just have some blanks that you guys will have to fill in, I believe. Right? Am I right? Am I wrong? Hopefully you have some blanks you have to fill in as we progress. So today, we are just going to focus on one part of speech, but before we get into that, there are 8 different parts of speech. So I want to see how many you guys can remember. So name as many as you can on your Chrome. How many parts of speech do you remember? Write them down. That's okay. Type on your Chrome. You remember none? Write none. Okay, let's try to finish in 5. Okay, so we have some people remembering. The main one that most of you were able to remember was a noun. And fun fact, on your cheat sheet, it lists all the different 8 parts of speech. So if you just look there, then you probably were able to get a few. Okay, but the different parts of speech are nouns, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions, interjections. What am I missing? Thank you, and adjectives. Okay, those are the 8 different parts of speech. Today we are just going to be focusing on nouns. Okay, so we're going to do a really in-depth review on what a noun is, and we're going to talk about some different types of nouns today. So just as a reminder, a noun is a word that names a person, a place, or a thing. So a noun could be a name of a person. Mrs. Bird, Creighton, those are nouns. Okay, O'Gorman is the name of a place. Shields, Qdoba, those are the places I went yesterday. So that's what came to mind. A thing, desk, clicker, projector, or an idea. And I think the idea nouns are the hardest nouns, like joy, happiness, contentedness. Okay, those are also considered nouns. So nouns are actually classified in 2 different ways. Okay, the first way that they can be classified is as either common or proper. And then the second way that nouns can be classified is concrete or abstract. So we're going to take a look at what each of these categories means. There are also nouns that are called collective. And again, we'll get to those collective nouns in just a minute. So we're going to start with the first classification, which is common versus proper nouns. So a common noun is just a general name for a person, place, thing, or idea that is not capitalized. So examples of common nouns would be desk, school, month, or teacher. Okay, notice they're not capitalized. Okay, so common nouns, they name something, but it's not capitalized. Whereas on the flip side, a proper noun is the name of a particular person, place, or thing, or idea, and it's always capitalized. So for example, O'Gorman High School, it's the name of a particular place, it's a proper noun, it has to be capitalized. Mrs. Bird, it's the name of a specific person, it has to be capitalized. August, it's the name of a specific month, it has to be capitalized. Okay, so anytime you see a capital that's a noun, just know it's going to be a proper noun. Okay, if it's something that you can, if it's not capitalized, then it's going to be a common noun. Okay, that's just like the most basic rule between common and proper. Questions so far? If I go too fast, just stop me and ask me questions, okay? I catch my breath. Hold on. Strong lungs. Strong lungs. Okay, the next classification is concrete versus abstract. So a concrete noun is going to name an object that can be seen, heard, smelled, touched, or tasted. So anything that you can sense with one of your five senses is considered a concrete noun. Okay? So here are some examples. A book, right? You can touch it. You can smell it. Have you ever smelled like a really old book? That's a good smell. Okay? You can hear it if you like flip the leaves or slam it shut. A bell, okay? You can hear a bell. Flowers, you can smell and feel the flowers. Sand, you can feel the sand between your toes. Apples, you can taste an apple. Okay, so these are all considered concrete nouns because they can be sensed with one of our five senses. Make sense? Yeah, see what I did there? Makes sense. An abstract noun, on the other hand, I think are the hardest because abstract nouns, all they do is they name an idea, a quality, or a state of being. So some examples of abstract nouns would be curiosity, pride, sadness, joy, happiness, those kind of things. Okay, they're abstract because we can't sense them with one of our five senses. So just know that nouns can be classified as either common or proper and concrete or abstract. Okay, so they're going to have one from each of those categories of classification as a noun. Now, collective nouns refer to just a group of people or things. And it's always going to be singular in form. Well, I shouldn't say always. There are some exceptions. But for the sake of our class, it's always going to be singular in form. Okay? So some examples of collective nouns would be class, audience, family, right? They're a group of people as one collective, which is why they're called a collective noun. Can you guys think of any other collective nouns? What's a name for like a group of people that you can think of? I want at least two. Yeah, Mary. Yes, a team. Okay, a team is a collective noun. Anybody come up with one more? Aiden?
Crowd.
Yeah, a crowd. That's a group of people. Absolutely. Staff. Okay, that's a group of people that work in a building. Absolutely. I think we got it. Any questions so far on nouns? That making sense? Picking up one foot down? Smelling one stepping in? All right. We're going to do some practice. So on your Chromebook, what I want you to do is I want you to try to underline all of the nouns that are in this sentence. So this is the drawing tool on here next. So you guys can change the color. You can change how big your drawer thing is. Okay, and I just want you to underline all of the nouns in this sentence. Try to finish in 5. Man, you guys are rock stars. I don't know what they're feeding you over at the junior high, but you guys crush it. They crushed it last year too. Just absolutely crushing it. So we got them all. Okay? Between all of us, we got them all. So the first one is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Okay? We know that whole thing is a noun because it's the name of a place. Cleveland is the name of a place, so that's a noun. Visitors, that would be a collective noun, right? It refers to a group of people, so that's a noun. And then world, it's a thing, so that's a noun as well. Nicely done. All right, now I want you to identify what kind of noun is highlighted here. Remember, it has 2 classifications, so you have to figure out both of the classifications of it. Definitely look at your notes if you need to, okay? You've got them right in front of you. See if you can figure it out based on your notes and what we just talked about. Let's try to finish in 5. Okay, we did pretty good, you guys. So we were all able to determine that this is a proper noun, okay? And the reason that we know it's proper, so we have the choice between common or proper, but proper nouns are always what? Proper nouns are always capitalized, okay? So we know that this is a proper noun because it's capitalized. Okay, so you all got that one, which is awesome. Now we had to choose between concrete and abstract. Okay, can somebody remind me, what is a concrete noun? How do we know if a noun is concrete? You can use your notes. How do we know if a noun is concrete? You're gonna make me pick on someone? Miriam, welcome. Grab a handout from the queue. You got new spots. You're sitting right there at that empty desk. Thank you, my dear. How do we know? What was my question? How do we know if a noun is concrete? Somebody's got to tell me. Yeah. So. Yes. Okay. You can perceive it with one of your 5 senses, one or more, right? It could be all of them. It could be just a couple. But as long as you can perceive it with one of your 5 senses. Now, here's where I think we got confused. Right now, in this moment, can we perceive the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with one of our 5 senses right now? No, not even a little bit, right? Like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is not sitting in our classroom right now. But if we were to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, could we touch it? Yeah. Could we hear it? It's rock and roll! We could probably hear it, right? We could probably smell it, because the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has a restaurant, so we could probably smell it. Okay, so we could perceive it with at least 3 of our 5 senses. We could probably taste it if we ordered some food or if we lived beside the building, but don't do that because you're gross, COVID, okay? So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a concrete noun because we can perceive it with at least one of our 5 senses. So A was the correct one on this. It is proper and concrete. Is that making sense to you guys? Cool. All right, let's try this one. Okay, finish up your response if you haven't yet. Okay, most of us got it. So the first classification, you guys, is figuring out, is it proper or is it common? Okay, we know that this is common because it's not capitalized. Okay, remember, proper nouns are always going to be capitalized. If it's not capitalized, then it's going to be common. Okay? Now, we were split about 50-50 between concrete and abstract. Okay, again, it's kind of hard for us to sense this with one of our 5 senses because we don't have a bunch of visitors in the room right now. But if we had some visitors in the room, would we be able to see them? Would we be able to hear them? Would we be able to smell them? Especially if they didn't shower that day, right? So if we had a bunch of visitors in the room with us, we would be able to sense them with one of our 5 senses. So this is a common concrete now. Okay, concrete, because we can sense these visitors with at least one of our five senses. Okay? All right. Oh, hang on. Miriam, did you get in? Okay, perfect. I'm going to move this back up. Okay, so now what I want you guys to do on this slide is you have a little yellow dot in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. I want you to drag this dot over the common abstract noun. So think really hard about it. Use your notes if you have to. The common abstract noun. Collaborate. Okay, try to finish in 5. Okay, we're split between two words here. I'm going to show it to you. We're split between intelligence and between staff. So let's talk this through. I want to commend all of you, okay? You guys know what commend means? What does commend mean? Ooh, there it is. It's like applaud or praise, okay? Congratulate. So I want to commend all of you because you were all able to at least pick out a common noun. Okay, and we know that those two nouns that you guys picked out, intelligence and staff, are common because they're not capitalized. Okay, remember, proper nouns are capitalized. Common nouns are not. Now, we just have to determine which one of these two is abstract. So we have to imagine that these nouns are in the room with us. Right? If these nouns are in the room with us, can we sense them with one of our five senses? The abstract noun we will not be able to sense with one of our five senses. So which one is the abstract noun out of intelligence and staff? Miriam? Intelligence. Okay? Because we can't sense that with one of our five senses. We can't see, hear, smell, taste, or feel intelligence. Okay? It's just a thing that's there. Right? Kind of like God. We can't see, feel, hear, smell, or taste God. We just kind of know He's there. Okay? So God would be like an abstract property. Right? So intelligence is your common abstract noun. We'll put this again. Sorry. Hang on. Okay. Try this one. We're looking for the collective noun. The collective noun. Again, use your notes if you have to. Let's try to finish in 5. Nice. Okay, almost 100% of us got it. Remember, a collective noun is a group of people. So what is the only group of people up here? Staff. Okay, it's the only group of people. So staff is our collective noun. You guys did great on that one. Okay, this is our last practice. I want you to drag your dot over the proper abstract noun. Let's try to get 100%. Think it through. Really think through what we've been talking about. Try to finish in 5. Jacob, you're kind of hovering in the middle there. That's too far. Okay. All right, nice job, guys. So, proper nouns have to be what, everyone? Capitalized. Proper nouns have to be what? Proper nouns have to be what? Capitalized. Diana, I'm not hearing you, man. Proper nouns have to be what, everyone? capitalize. So, I love your energy. You're so energetic for a Monday morning. Woo! Get it, girl? Okay, proper nouns have to be capitalized. Okay, you gotta remember that. So, if we're looking for a proper noun, it narrows it down to two, right? You've got T Swifty and we've got August. Those are your two proper nouns. Now, we have to figure out, we're looking for the abstract noun. Oh, this is the dream. If T Swifty was in the room with us, right? Can we see her? Yeah? Could we hear her? Oh, yeah! She'd be serenading us. We could smell her glorious scent. I imagine her smelling like coconuts and fine sand beaches. Okay? We could touch her, even though we'd probably get sued for doing so. Okay? And we could definitely taste her if she let us, but that would be weird. Okay, so if we can sense her with all of our five senses, that means that she's not abstract. She's concrete, right? Because she's there. She's concrete. Remember, if you're having trouble distinguishing between abstract and concrete, just remember concrete. Okay, if you go outside, you can feel concrete. You can see it. You can get down and smell it and taste it and be weird. Okay, you can't really hear concrete much like jackhammering it or jackhammering it or whatever. Okay, so the abstract proper noun here is August. Okay, it's just a month. Okay, it's kind of like an abstract idea, right? And we're in it right now. Okay, perfect. I did that on purpose. Okay, we can't really see, smell, hear, taste, or feel August. Like, yeah, the month of August is usually hot, right? But there's not like a physical being that is August. Does that make sense? So August is the proper abstract noun. You all get fantastic from that. Questions on nouns. Is this making sense? Okay, tell me how you're feeling. Be honest. Finish in 5. This is just for me. I'm the only one that's going to see this, so just tell me how you're actually feeling so I can help you if you need it. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so we're stopping here for today, and we're going to do our homework. So, for our homework, what we're going to do, and you guys should be able to finish this before the end of the period, so hopefully you shouldn't actually have any homework. We're going to go to noredink.com. Has anybody used this before? Okay, just a couple people? Awesome. Okay, so you guys will be pros, so you guys can help out everybody else. Yeah, right. Okay, so go ahead and go to noredink.com. I'm going to join you after this real quick. Period. 1. Yes. Even it. Okay. Okay, so we're going to noredink.com. And then, you guys, if you do not have an account with your school email, you're going to need to sign up as a student. Okay, if you do have an account with your school email, then you should just be able to hit this login with Google button and log in. Okay, so I want you to do one of those two things. I'm going to log in quick because I got to pull up your code. Okay, and there's your weird class code for period 1. Pink nickel 40 is your class code. So if you have an account, just log in. If you don't have an account, you're going to have to create one, and then your class code is right there. Pink nickel 40. Okay, if you're having issues, raise your hand. I'll walk around and help you out. Make sure we're all getting logged in. And once you get logged in, if you already have an account and you're already in, you're going to see your assignment there. Okay. Yeah, okay, your assignment there is going to be, it's called the Grammar Diagnostic Quiz. Okay, guys, it's not a real quiz. You're not like getting graded on how well you do on it. It's just for me to see where you are at with your grammar. Okay, so that is your homework. You have to complete that Grammar Diagnostic Quiz for your homework today. So I'll write that on the board. So if you get logged in, you can go ahead and get started. And then as soon as you're done with your homework, and congratulations. Hold on, you need to sign in with Google. Don't create a username. If you're creating a new account, sign in with Google. Go for computer. Yep. We're all You guys, don't worry about getting these answers right or wrong. It's literally just for me to see how much you know. So I don't care if you get them all wrong. Okay, all that lets me know is that you might need extra help during the grammar unit. So not a big deal at all. Okay, once you finish the grammar diagnostic quiz, the rest of the period is yours to work quietly on whatever else you have. If you don't have something to work quietly on, I'm happy to give you work to do.